Could you imagine taking a long-acting basal insulin once a week? Well, it's about to be an option. In this video, I will reveal the evidence on this brand new weekly insulin, how it works, who can take it, and why it could change lives for millions of people with diabetes around the world, and why I won't take it. Before I reveal anything, especially my refusal to take it, let me explain the story that led me to my skepticism and why I hesitate with most new things diabetes related. As a type 1 diabetic of 42 plus years, and a father who has raised 2 type 1 kids, I have firsthand experience and knowledge about the struggles and challenges with giving and taking multiple. Over the years, I've heard of cures, miracle research that will cure diabetes, make it better. And there have been amazing things to help us diabetics. Don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful. But I've learned to not believe everything I hear, because sometimes the news can be disappointing for me, having lived with diabetes for so long. It gets tiring, and you really hope to be done with it. So you get pretty disappointed when things you read about, hear about, especially the sensationalized stuff on the news, result my skepticism. I believe millions of diabetics around the world who use insulin on a daily basis would benefit from a weekly dose. So let me share 5 things. What is it? How does it work? Who can take it? What are the benefits? And why I won't take it. So what is this weekly dose? Last March, Canada became the very first country to authorize a once weekly super slow basal insulin, Novo Nordisk's Icodec insulin, and it is called the trade name Awiqli. Another pun, lots of puns today. It sounds like a weekly, literally. So how does it work? Well, insulin Icodec acts slowly throughout the day and night over a period of 7 days. It meets basic insulin needs, but doesn't cover, for instance, mealtime insulin needs. So it must always be used with rapid insulin to cover meals. Now, keep in mind, this is just information I wanted to share, and it's not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. The insulin takes much longer to be absorbed by the body than other slow-acting insulins available on the market, like Tresiba and Lantus, the 2 most popular ones. So after it's injected under the skin, its molecules dissolve very slowly and gradually enter the bloodstream, similar to the other ones, but even slower. So this insulin, Icodec, binds more strongly to the protein albumin than the other basal insulin. Because it binds so strong, it takes so long to work its way out of the body. And it remains in the body for a week instead of a few days. So who can take it? Well, if you have type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes and use insulin, you may be able to take it. It was first tested in a little under 4,000 people living with type 2 diabetes and showed that it was as effective as insulin glargine or Lantus and didn't cause more hypoglycemic episodes. It was then tested after that on a little under 600 adults living with type 1 diabetes, and it showed that A1C levels and time spent in range was similar to Tresiba, but there was more risk of low blood sugar. It should be noted that this treatment has not been tested in populations between 0 and 18 years old, and that few people aged 65 and older with type 1 diabetes participated in the studies I just mentioned. So what are the benefits? Well, this is not scientific, but my opinion. So improved medication compliance, or more likely to not forget a dose. Like I said, I raised 2 type 1 kids, and admittedly over the years they've come to me and said, oh, I forgot to take my long-acting insulin, and I have to constantly remind them to take their mealtime insulin. Way better now because they're adults, but there's an example of compliance and forgetting your doses. So hopefully that would be better with a weekly dose. Those who are afraid to take insulin once a week versus every day, it's another benefit. Improved quality of life. Once weekly. That's it. Like seriously, it's crazy. Living with diabetes means countless decisions 24/7. So anything that can simplify life and managing diabetes in general is most welcome by everybody living with this darn disease. So why won't I take it? It's a big question. I'll always wait to see how new products work on the market. My biggest concern would be dosing adjustments. Weekly versus every 2 to 3 days. You better get the dose right because you've got that stuff in your system for a full week. If lows were higher with this medication or with a weekly, I'd be concerned about that. As a busy diabetic who has somewhat of a predictable schedule, but I still unpredictably do things after work. And those who have shift work, travel a lot, different time zones, I think that'd be really challenging for them to take this medication. All that said, though, I think it's pretty amazing. And this is, like I said, once weekly. Technology and science never cease to amaze me. And this is amazing. Personally, I'm going to wait and see. Let me know in the comments if you would take a weekly or wait and see, like myself. Want a quick review of diabetes? Check this video out here. I explain it in 20 minutes or less. See you next time.